Okay, what's up, folks? Rich Tassel with you, giving you the recap of the early games from now Week 5 of the NFL season. Miami moves to 2-2 with a 16-10 victory over the Tennessee Titans. Matt Castle for the Titans, not good at all. Tennessee drops to 2-3, 21-32, 141 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. DeMarco Murray effective, just didn't have that many carries in a game where Matt Castle's doing nothing but throwing 32 times. I don't get it. He was 14 of 58, 4.1 yards per carry. Derrick Henry 4 for 9, 2.3. The team 20 of 69, 3.5 yards per rush. Not really understanding Tennessee's offense in this game. No downfield playmakers for the Titans. Rashard Matthews 3 of 34, Eric Decker 4 of 34, Delaney Walker 3 of 25, Jonnu Smith 5 of 21. Kevin Byrd recovered a fumble. Matt Castle and DeMarco Murray both lost fumbles. One sack. It was Jarrell Casey. Ty Smith had an interception. Adoree Jackson a kick return to 21 yards. Eric Weems 1 for 18. Adoree Jackson 2 punt returns for 14 yards. Ryan Succop 1 for 1 in his field goals. The Miami Dolphins, Jay Cutler was pretty horrible in this game. 12 of 26, 92 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. How Miami got the win, I don't know. Jay Ajayi, 25 of 77, 3.1 yards per rush. Damian Williams, 3 of 15, 5 yards per rush. The team, 31 of 100, 3.2 yards per rush. Jarvis Landry, top receiver, 5 of 44, 1 touchdown. Julius Thomas, 1 of 15. Kenny Stills, 1 of 13. Damian Williams, 1 of 13. Rashad Jones recovered 2 fumbles. Jay Ajayi lost a fumble. The team had 6 sacks. Surprising with Tennessee's offensive line, Kiko Alonso 1, Rashad Jones and Cameron Wake split 1. Andre Branch had 2, and Ndamukong Suh, Charles Harris had the others. No interceptions. Jakeem Grant 2 kick returns, 44 yards. Jarvis Landry 4 punt returns, 28 yards. Jakeem Grant 3 punt returns, 19 yards. Cody Parkey 1 for 1 in his field goals. Tennessee, look, clearly they miss Marcus Mariota in this game. Their offense still doesn't necessarily go downfield even when Mariota's in the game. But the fact that they didn't run the ball and threw Matt Castle 32 times, and he only had 141 yards, makes just absolutely no sense to me. Miami, Jay Cutler's got to play better. You got away with the victory in this game, but boy, he did not look good at all. Very disappointing performance by him. The Philadelphia Eagles slammed the Arizona Cardinals 34-7. Philly is now 4-1, and in the overtime game, San Francisco just intercepted a pass at the goal line and returned it well. So we'll see what happens there. But Philadelphia now 4-1, Arizona 2-3.
Walt Disney World.
Carson Palmer, 28 of 44, 291 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Chris Johnson continues to struggle running the ball, 9 carries, 21 yards, 2.3. J.J. Nelson, 1 of 14. Kerwin Williams,
More than ever before. Coming.
3 for -2. The team 14 of 31. J.J. Nelson 4 receptions, 80 yards. Andre Ellington 9 of 65. Larry Fitzgerald 6 of 51. Jaron Brown 3 of 39. J.J. Nelson lost the fumble. That was the receiving game. 1 sack. Chandler Jones. Antoine Buffet had an interception. Kerwin Williams 4 kick returns, 74 yards, 18.5 yards per rush. Not very good. Full Dawson 0 for 1 in his field goals. For the Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz very good in this game. 21 of 30, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. LeGarrette Blount 14 of 74, 5.3 yards per rush. Kenjon Barmer 5 of 23, 4.6. The team 33 of 122, 3.7 yards per rush. Again, though, you have that big lead. Other guys start running and the other team's loading up. So 3.7 in a game you win by 27 is really not bad at all. Don't worry about that going below the 4 yards per carry average. Nelson Aguilar 4 for 93 receiving. Torrey Smith 3 for 70. Zach Ertz 6 of 61. They all had touchdowns. Trey Burton 2 of 16 with the other touchdown. 2 sacks. Vinny Curry, Brandon Graham. No interceptions. Kenjon Barner 3 kick returns, 110 yards, 36.7. He did have 1 of 76, or that was a punt return, excuse me. Jake Elliott 2 for 2 in his field goals. Arizona, not very good, as we can clearly see. Their defensive secondary has some players to be getting torched like this in Tyrann Mathieu and in Patrick Peterson, so I'm a little surprised it went down like that. As for the Philadelphia Eagles, finding their offense both ways, running the ball and passing the ball, very effective in that regard. Carson Wentz was sharp in this game, so Philadelphia is looking like a very dangerous team at this juncture in the season. the Buffalo Bills, just when I want to give them credit, they go on the road and lose a game to Cincinnati. Cincinnati was turning the ball over a bunch in this game. So what can you say about the Bills? Tyrod Taylor, 20 of 37. Buffalo drops to 3-2. Cincinnati quietly up to 2-3. Give them credit for not hanging their hats at 0-3. Tyrod Taylor, 20 of 37, 166 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. LaShawn McCoy, 19 carries, 63 yards, 3.3 yards per rush. Mike Tolbert, 3 of 16, 5.3 yards per rush. The team altogether 24 of 82, 3.4 yards per rush. Nick O'Leary, top receiver, 5 for 54. Charles Clay, 2 of 31. LaShawn McCoy, 6 of 26. Brandon Tate, 2 of 25 receiving, 1 touchdown. Jordan Poyer, Jordan Mills both recovered fumbles. LaShawn McCoy fumbled. It was not lost. Only 1 sack. It was Marcel Darius. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer both had interceptions. Brandon Tate, 1 kick return, 17 yards. 2 punt returns for 41 yards. Stephen Hauschka, 3 for 3 in his field goals. For the Cincinnati Bengals, Andy Dalton, 22 of 36, 328 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Joe Mixon, 15 carries, 51 yards, 3.4 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. Jeremy Hill, 4 of 16, 4 yards per rush. The team, 27 of 65, 2.4 yards per rush, so not very good running the ball there. It did have a negative 6-yard run by the wide receiver, Alex Erickson. A.J. Green, got to talk more about him. He had a huge day through the air, had some mistakes, though. We'll talk about that at the end. 7 receptions, 189 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 77-yarder. Tyler Croft, 4 of 38. Brandon LaFell, 5 of 32. Giovanni Bernard, 2 of 30. A.J. Green fumbled and lost a fumble. He had some butterfingers today. Alex Erickson fumbled. It was not lost. The team had 6 sacks, 2 for Michael Johnson, 1 for Vontez Bursavic. Geno Atkins, Jordan Mills, and Carl Lawson also had 1. George Aloka had a 14-yard interception return. Alex Erickson, 3 kick returns, 77 yards. That's 25.7 yards per average. Randy Bullock, 2 for 2 in his field goals. So, for the Bengals, hats off to them for finding their offense. We'll talk about that with Buffalo. Actually, they're now up to 2-3. Of course, they fired Zampese. They've gotten it together. That division is certainly looking winnable. We'll get into Jacksonville and Pittsburgh in just a moment. So they're not hanging their heads. They got their offense together. Give them credit. For the Buffalo Bills, you had a game where the Bengals turned it over 4 times and you lose. This is why they're the Buffalo Bills. Sometimes I tried to give this team credit at times, tried to move them up, act like it'll be the time. Then they win that game against Atlanta, and then here we go again with the Buffalo Bills. Terrible loss by the Buffalo Bills in this game. The Jacksonville Jaguars win 30-9 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, we told you about Jacksonville. It's just one of those things that they do. Their defense very good in this game, as we'll get into it with the box score. Hey, when Blake Bortles, he had no touchdowns, did have 1 interception. The interception, not really his fault. The guy had it, was going to the ground basically, and then kind of just juggled it into the other guy's hands. So I'm not going to put that on Blake Bortles, but you see he didn't do much. He didn't have to. Leonard Fournette, 28 carries, 181 yards, 6.5 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns. Chris Ivory, 8 of 41, 5.1 yards per rush. The team, 37 of 231, 6.2 yards per rush. Marquise Lee, 2 receptions, 49 yards. Allen Hurns, 2 of 21. Mercedes Lewis, 1 of 14. The team had 2 sacks. One of them was split between Albert Jones and Clay Campbell. Dante Fowler Jr., nice to see him coming along, had the other one. Deshaun Gibson, 2 interceptions, returned them both for 9 yards combined. Barry Church had a 51-yard interception return touchdown. Telvin Smith, 28-yard interception return touchdown. Jalen Ramsey had another interception for 15 yards. Tommy Bohannon had a kick return of 14 yards. Jason Myers, 1 for 1 in his field goals. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, pretty awful in this game. 33 of 55, 312 yards, no touchdowns, 5 picks. Le'Veon Bell, 15 for 47, 3.1 yards per rush. You can't really get him involved when you're getting beaten the way that they were. Martavis Bryant, 1 return for 13 yards. Antonio Brown did have a big day through the air, 10 receptions, 157 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster, 4 for 58. Le'Veon Bell, 10 of 46. No fumbles. The team had 2 sacks. Vince Williams, T.J. Watt, 1 interception. Ryan Shazier. Juju Smith-Schuster, a kick return of 9 yards. Robert Golden, a kick return of 5 yards. Antonio Brown, 1 punt return, didn't get any yards. Chris Boswell, 3 for 3 in his field goals. Look, Jacksonville, Blake Bortles was not good, did have that interception. We said it wasn't his fault, but still only 8 completions on 14 yards. But when your defense scores 14 points and you run the ball for 231 times on 6.2 yards per rush, you're not going to need your quarterback to do much. They'll have to figure that out. We discussed this with Jacksonville. I even said in the preview, while I picked Pittsburgh to win this game, I said, who knows with the Jaguars. They're so up and down. We'll see. Blake Bortles will probably have 4 interceptions next week. Who knows? But Ben Roethlisberger in this game, look, not good. We saw it. What can you say? Antonio Brown was good. You can't really blame Le'Veon Bell, though, for not having that good of an afternoon because you couldn't really run the ball that much and get him established. So it is what it is, but terrible loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hats off to the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes to give you the rest of the games that just ended in the 1 o'clock time slot. We'll see you then.